Hi, my name is Raul Fontanez, and basically, what the film industry is that it's an industry where they produce movies and TV shows. Movies ranging from high blockbuster movies to B movies. And high blockbuster movies to me is something like Transformers. Transformers to me is a high blockbuster movie with a budget of almost like $200 to $300 million, with gigantic special effects and all that kind of stuff. And then you got the lower end movies that I really can't give you an example because I don't really watch those kinds of movies. But to me are the movies with low budgets, with movies like I would say Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day had a bunch of high A actors, but it didn't really have any special effects. It was just straight up action, not action, it was straight up drama and acting. That's pretty much what the film industry has to do. Oh, also on TV ranging from TV channels like ABC or any other channel, really HBO. They have their TV shows. TV shows like The Walking Dead, TV shows like Game of Thrones. Those are all TV shows that the film industry also does and also produces. The independent media industry is actually like YouTube or Vimeo or anything depending on what you're doing. There's people who like to take pictures, and then there's people who like to do videos. If you're doing videos, a lot of the people like to probably combine both, make a slideshow. For instance, YouTube. A lot of people like to go on YouTube and just upload whatever it is that they want to upload, whether it's a slideshow of their work or just a little clip they want to put together. But that's what the independent media industry is. It's people independent, just doing either their thing, trying to make their own business, or just people who just want to pick up a camera and do something with it. That's pretty much what the independent media industry is, just people trying to do their own thing. Now there's a difference with the two. Film tends to focus more on professional level work where they want to try and get everything right. They are the big teams and they are the big studios that are willing to pay millions of dollars to produce this film and get it out there and hopefully make a profit out of that. Those are technically at the corporations, and they got different jobs within that corporation. Jobs like camera operators, photography, what's that? Cinematography, pretty much. They got the directors, they got the producers, they got all that kind of stuff. Whereas the independent media industry are more like you're just doing your own thing. You're kind of by yourself on this. You can find other people to join you and form your own little things, or just jump around doing little videography jobs for weddings or parties or just anything like that. Those are basically the two different well that's basically the difference between these two, kind of the way that I see it. I mean, I tried looking up what Jesus freaking Christ, man. That's basically the difference between these two. I would say more of like teamwork, corporate businesses versus you kind of going around doing your own thing. You're by yourself. You are the boss of yourself. You're this, you're that. Whereas the film industry is more like unless you're CEO, you're working for somebody. That's pretty much it. And they produce more high level stuff, more big budget things, and a whole lot more that an independent person can't really do. But it's what you prefer and what you like, pretty much. I found this company online for director of photography, and their company name is called Clearing Craft, and they're located in New York City. And right here it says that they are a Clearing Craft company is an online publication whose purpose is to inspire action and creativity in their readers, and to give innovation artists, performers, and creators the crafted a platform to communicate their craft and artistry or artistic view, or pretty much whatever they were. They're basically an online publication to give people pretty much a platform to show their work. That's pretty much what they're for. And in the requirements, it shows they must know photography bases, exposure, ISO, rule of thirds, etc. They must know how to use a Canon DSLR camera, which is digital, obviously. And they must know how to use the internet, and they must have great sense of humor. I like that one. That last one's pretty fun. But I found this company, and the director of photography, it's a pretty interesting field. Two common terms in the film industry I would have to say is behind the scenes and the backlot. The behind the scenes is actually like what takes place like behind those visual effects. How did they do it? What does the set look like? These are the people who like show, what the set looks like before the visual effects are done or before filming. This is everything before they have the finalized project. They talk about, details on how they did this or why they did that or some struggles they went through or things like that. The behind the scenes is exactly technically how it was like doing the movie, how it was to make the movie, and what kind of struggles they went through and any type of situations and any type of commentary and any type of talks just like that. Some of the actors might say some stuff, oh, that day was like this and that, or this day was probably the hardest day of filming, this is the day that everything happened, this was the big day, this was the most important scene, how was it like filming, what kind of things did you run into, things like that. Those are behind the scenes clips, in my personal opinion. The second one is the backlot. Now, knowing Hollywood, I don't remember the last time, I don't really watch a lot of the behind the scenes because I don't have time to anymore, but I don't really remember the last time somebody used a backlot. But Full Sail has a backlot, so I can talk about that because I've done a few of my videos on the backlot. And here are some little videos right now as you're watching it. I'm going to talk. This is basically, a backlot to me is like, how do I say it? From what I see at Full Sail, it's like a line full of different types of locations, good high quality locations, where it represents a different area. Like, you can have probably New York right next to Chicago if you wanted to, and you can film and try and manipulate it by trying to show the people, hey, we're in New York, but in reality, we're not really in New York, we're in Los Angeles. So we're just building the set. This is the backlot. This is where we shot this shot. This is, it's basically like mimicking a location, in my opinion. My phone just went off. But it's basically just mimicking a location and trying to make it look like, or let me rephrase that, it's mimicking locations. Like, this section might be Hollywood, this section might be New York, and this section might be Chicago. So we're done with our Chicago shot. Now it's time to fly out to New York and do our shot. Boom. Walk 2 feet, bam. There's it's a whole backlot, it's all together. Different locations in one little area. That's basically what a backlot is to me. Independent media comment terms, I would have to go with teaser trailer, and it was a little harder to choose from some of them because not all of them attract my attention. And then voiceover. Voiceover is pretty interesting. I've seen a lot of pretty cool voiceovers, and I actually do love them. I'm not gonna lie. Teaser trailer, that's basically, to me, those are like showing you a little glimpse of what we got in the film and what the film is kind of about. But it's teasing you because we're not going to show you a lot of shots. We're not going to show you a lot of different types of things. One teaser trailer that I think kind of stuck to that was the teaser trailer to Transformers 3. They stuck to a specific space scene that wasn't even the same in the movie, to be honest. It was a lot, I think it was a lot shorter, and it wasn't back to back in different areas like it was in the movie. I don't know how to explain that part, but I think they portrayed it well. The Avengers trailer, I think they showed too much for a teaser trailer. They showed way too much for a teaser trailer. I'm not gonna lie to you. But a teaser trailer, I mean, I made my own little teaser trailer for my own little movie. Here's a little glimpse of it. But yeah, that's pretty much what a teaser trailer is for me. It is like, here's some of our work. We're not going to show you everything just yet. We're going to wait till we get closer to the release date, and then bam, we're going to give you a full trailer, That's what a teaser trailer is to me. Now, a voiceover. Voiceovers are kind of fun, because I do a little voice acting myself. I love doing that kind of stuff. But a voiceover, that's basically like, I don't remember the name of the movie. I think it was called The Island of Lemurs. It's basically, I think it was like a documentary on the lemurs of Madagascar and stuff like that, and Morgan Freeman was the voiceover. He was the one narrating everything. Another good example of a voiceover is Dr. Seuss, the Dr. Seuss movies. They got, I think it was Anthony Hopkins who was voiceovering for the Grinch in the live action with Jim Carrey. That's another voiceover that they use as a narrator. A voiceover is pretty much self-explanatory. It's a voice over the shots, pretty much. Voice over. It's self-explanatory, really. You know, you got a shot, you got an opening, then you got somebody talking. They're not in the shot. All you hear is their voice in the shot. That's it. That's pretty much what a voiceover is to me. And most people. One industry that I know that's kind of going off a trend that I've noticed in the past few years is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has pretty much DC Comics under their company, and they can do just about any DC comic movie they want to do. It doesn't matter what they want to do. Now, I noticed that a couple years ago, starting back in 2008, when Iron Man came out, Iron Man was actually associated with Paramount Pictures. Now that all the other Marvel movies have made so much money, they're not associated with any Paramount Pictures or anything like that. Now it's just Marvel Studios that's making the movies. If you actually go back, you'll actually notice that. I've noticed that Marvel started an open world cinematic universe, as they call it, with all their superheroes, and they're putting them together, crossovers after crossovers. We've seen it. It's crazy. It's making money, and it looks great. And the direction that they're going in, they're doing it very well. And I noticed that DC started doing that over at Warner Brothers when Man of Steel came out. They specifically said that Man of Steel is an open world and it is not a closed universe. It is an open universe. And the reason I know this is because I saw the movie. And in the movie, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but you should have seen it by now. In the movie, you see things that are from other comic books, like Bruce Banner, that's the Hulk. Bruce Wayne's satellite. You can see his logo on the satellite at the end of the movie, where General Zod and Superman are actually fighting. You can actually see his Wayne Enterprise logo on that satellite. And they also have a bunch of little sneak peeks of Lex Luthor, and by that I mean like not actually physically him, but they also had like LexCorp and areas like that in the DC Man of Steel movie that came out in 2013. And now it's the new Batman and Superman movie coming out. That's also an open universe because they casted Aquaman. They casted They casted Cyborg. They casted a couple people. I gotta go back and check. But what I'm noticing about the trend is that they're kind of going in the same direction that Marvel is, and that kind of seems to be a trend now with people wanting to do crossovers because now 20th Century Fox, they're making the Fantastic Four movie, and on IMDb it clearly states in one of the little trivia questions or in the quotes, it has to be the trivia questions. It says the Fantastic Four is an open world and is in the same universe as X-Men, which means we will see an X-Men and Fantastic Four crossover. Ever since Marvel Studios started doing Iron Man with Captain America and crossed over Thor and the Hulk and all those other superheroes, now DC wants to do that. 20th Century Fox wants to do that with their the rights of X-Men and Fantastic Four. Sony wants to do that, but they only have Spider-Man. So what they're going to do is they're making a Venom movie and they're making a Sinister Six movie. That seems to be a trend now. Now everybody wants to do crossovers. I believe that this is going to affect the industry in Warner Brothers is because DC and Marvel, they're head in head. You know, a lot of people obviously don't like Superman, but a lot of people love Batman. But I think they're like right there neck and neck because I love both of them when it comes to this crossover. Now, the biggest impact is they're going to get a lot of views for that. When Batman vs. Superman comes out, they're gonna make box office history there. They're gonna nail that out of the park. That's what people want to see. People are dying to see a Superman and Batman movie. The reactions that I've seen at Comic-Con and all these crazy things, it's gonna make a lot of money towards the company. It's gonna give them enough money to make sequels, and it's gonna start something new. Then other companies are probably gonna get inspired by doing these types of things. But the main thing that it's going to affect the company is that it's going to give them a really good profit. They're going to make a good amount of profit off of these movies that they're coming up, because they got a Justice League movie, 2 parts, coming out, and they're going to make money by doing that, following Marvel's little footsteps there and kind of inspiring everybody else to do it. That's going to make good profit for a lot of movies that do crossovers. That's something that people are going to want to see, and the effect that this has on specific programs graduates. I'm reading it like right off here. What effects will this have on the specific program's graduates? It's kind of a confusing question. Specific programs graduates. Well, I'll answer this at the best of my ability. The effects that this will have on specific program graduates is that, one, this is going to be an extremely amount of CGI. So this gives a lot of graduates who graduated from like animation schools or full cells animation programs or any type of programming that requires animation or visual effects. They're going to need a lot of people, which is going to open the door for a lot of animation students. This is also going to require a lot of set work, and it's also going to require a lot of what's it called? I would say a lot of camera work, but a lot of camera work and a lot of set design, and it's going to require a lot of more people. Like, I'm pretty sure Transformers had like almost 3,000 people working on that. It's going to create more jobs, and it's going to give more students opportunities to walk in through these doors and nail a DP job on the next Marvel's movie, for all we know. It's just going to take up a lot more people to do these movies, to the point where they're going to take up a lot more graduates. So, to specific programs, animation, that's a big one. That's a really big one. That's going to be affected, because they're going to need a lot of people. I mean, video games have almost over 200 people working on one game, and that's ridiculous. Animation, they got a lot of people. Camera, they're going to need a set design, definitely set design. That's a lot of explosions. That you're going to blow up specific things that you just built right there. They're going to need a lot of people, which they're just going to hire. It's going to be easier for graduates to find, I guess, jobs, if anything. If they have the right connections, they're going to be able to find jobs on these big blockbuster movies, and it's going to give them an opportunity to actually work on these big budget films. And that's going to be pretty awesome, and I hope I'm one of them. I'm hoping I'm one of them. One film industry professional that I would have to say that they're unique in their field. I can go about any director that I love. I can go ahead and say Michael Bay. But I would actually like to talk about and kind of explain why I think Zack Snyder is very unique in his field. He was the director to Man of Steel and the movie 300. The reason I say that he is unique in his field is because of the DC Cinematic Universe that he started. He started that with Man of Steel. The Dark Knight was a closed universe. Christopher Nolan just wanted to be Batman, that's it. But Man of Steel, he started that. And from what I'm looking at, he's directed Man of Steel, he directed Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and he's directing Justice League, Part 1 and 2. He's directing these movies. And from what I'm looking at is that I feel like nobody wanted to tackle these movies, and I feel like from his point of view, he said, well, if nobody's going to do it, I'm going to do it. So, let's do it, you know? I feel like he started the whole DC Cinematic Universe, and I think he's going to inspire a lot of directors to come to Warner Brothers and actually work on other movies. Like now Warner Brothers is actually looking for a female director to direct Wonder Woman. That is going to be sick. I cannot wait to see that. But now it's opened a lot of doors. You know, I feel like he's unique because I feel like he started that DC Cinematic Universe. He started something, and now hopefully he can get a bunch of other directors to follow him into this universe, and they're going to create a really awesome DC universe. DC has a lot of superheroes that they can work with. I feel like he's unique because he started something at Warner Brothers, and now Warner Brothers is opening up the doors to more superhero movies like Wonder Woman, Flash, hopefully Martian Manhunter too. I would love to see that movie. But he's opened the door to all these other films by starting Man of Steel